Hey everyone, it's Ceree from the Spiritual View crew. Welcome to Twin Flame Tuesday, and we're going to do a reading today to look at the collective energies of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and to look at where the relationship is today. The cards and decks I'm going to be using today are the Angel Number deck, the Akashic Tarot deck, and the Mermaid Tarot deck. So those are the main ones that we're going to use today. I just wanted to start off because I know many of you watch our videos. Jen did a really great video last week talking about potential union, the need to take a leap of faith, and that just because you don't see progress, it doesn't mean that things aren't happening. And actually, MJ said that on the Twin Flame video this week on Soulful Revolution. And so I was having a conversation last evening with a girlfriend who is getting very anxiety ridden because she's not seeing things manifest in her physical environment. And she was saying, when is it actually going to come together? And we talked about the fact that with the twin flame journey, just because you don't see it in the physical world doesn't mean it's not happening. So in the fifth dimensional reality, we are always together with our twin flames. Whether or not you're actually seeing it come into fruition into your physical 3D life, that is not a sign that things are not progressing. So I wanted to start out today with some angel numbers. And I pulled a card for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, as well as the connection. So if you relate to the divine feminine energies, this is for you. And the card is 101, and it's fascinating the similarities between the numbers. 101 is starting over. So if any of you watched our monthly video last week, it was all about the Fool's Journey. And we gave lots of examples around things in relationships ending to make room for the new and bringing in the new. And that part of the Fool's Journey is to make that space to create the new. So I'm going to read this to you, starting over: intelligence, dynamics, making a difference, failures, personal or spiritual development. Happiness is linked to self-expression, growth, and experience. Learning from failures is key. Happiness is real, possible, and around. Understand its process and the pursuit of it. Joy is fluid. It's in the little things and the big ones. Fails are fun, start fresh. So for divine feminines, that's your angel number for this week. If you identify more with the divine masculine energy, again, it's a very similar number. It's 1011. So just more one. So 3 ones here. Take action, hope, new beginning, fresh start. Sounds like the Fool card. Lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. And then I said, well, Spirit, let's do a bonus card. Tell me what's the angel number for the connection in general. And what I pulled was the twin flame number, 1111. And this number reads, wishes come true. Moderation, patience, flowing, self-realization, manifestation, getaway, and taking action. It says, for this connection, you're in for a lucky break. It may come as happy news, experience, new opportunities, or an exciting acquaintance. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. It is not a coincidence, but a gift from fate. So this is the energy of the connection, and it doesn't get any better than this for a twin flame reading. So we looked at Akashic Tarot. I did that next to look at, from a soul level, what's actually happening with this relationship. And this is a wonderful deck that I use because I'm an Akashic Records reader. So I spend a lot of time in the Akashic field reading for souls to find out more about their incarnations and their mission and purpose in past lives as well as in this incarnation. So I pulled 2 cards for the connection, and I'm just going to show these and read these to you because they're quite special. This one is called the Eight of Roses, or Sangha, which means community. And if you look at the card, it says, inside a room, people are seated around a table, conversing with interest and energy. There are many icons from different groups and societies. a caduceus, a sunflower, a Tibetan bowl, an Egypt scarab, a dream catcher, a starved David is just a few. It says this card indicates, and this would be as we look at the relationship of the divine feminine and the divine masculine kind of together. It says it's time to join or rejoin your group, your tribe, your ashram, or your sangha. Whatever you call it, it is a community that connects you with others of like-minded purpose and activity. There are many communities in each person's life, and still more that return from past lives. For instance, you have your family and friends, but you also have the people with whom you share many creative, cultural, and spiritual purposes. New friends or soul tribe can be coming your way at this time. Be open to these new connections. You will not only find help with current directives, but you will also reawaken past life relationships, talents, and disciplines. It's time for a happy sharing of your discoveries. So the message for twins is find your tribe. And I think most of us have been on that journey. And oftentimes we have to clear the way. Some relationships have to end before we have the space to allow the new ones to come in. So if you have situations where people are disappearing or walking in a different path that is not on your path, that's okay, because what that means is that you're clearing the space to bring in your soul tribe. The second message today is another rose, the Queen of Roses. And it shows a beautiful woman with roses in her hair and all around her. A beautiful scene expands outside, but she's peacefully focusing on the flower in her hand. The Queen of Roses signifies a woman who is loving and supportive, but with a passionate side as well. This is a card of a loving connection. A relationship with someone you know may deepen and become more meaningful, or a new one may appear. Be open to the connection because it might be a romantic one, and it will be helpful and valuable to you in one way. This card shows a happy resolution also in a love relationship if you're currently in one. The time for peaceful, loving connections is at hand, so open your heart to the expression of caring within and around you. So, two very strong messages of finding soul tribe and creating the space for that to happen. And second, being open to love. And I think part of the message I believe that is out there for us to pay attention to is sometimes we block our own opportunities for love. And so it's always a reminder, you've got to make the space for new relationships, and you've also got to make the space for love and not to block what's coming in. So those are some messages about the energy in the collective today. Now, Jen, you set me up for a reading this week because you said last week that there was a lot of opportunity coming over the next few months for twins to be finding one another. And the week before I had said that. And the cards are really showing that there is a set of twin flames that may be looking at union. So I just cut the deck, and I'm using the Mermaid Tarot for the reading. And I'm going to be looking at the energies of the divine feminine, the energies of the divine masculine, the collective energies between the two, how they're looking at one another, messages from spirit to each one, what they don't know about one another at this time, and then the collective outcome right now of the relationship. I cut the deck, and the card that came up was the Fool. You just can't make this up. So again, the messages have been consistently coming through. We're getting the Fool card every time we do a reading. And this is take a leap of faith. This is the energy of trust. And Jen said last week that sometimes we do not trust our own intuition, and we do not allow ourselves to be open and to trust that actually this relationship may come together. Now, there may be those of you who are in a twin flame relationship already where you're together, you're communicating, and there could be some of you in separation like myself. And you would like to have that communication, but it does require the opportunity to take that leap of faith. So this is the underlying energy of the reading itself. Now, what's fascinating is the divine feminine's energy today is showing up as the Ace of Wands. Aces are wonderful to get, and this is about a new beginning. So the way that the divine feminine is in terms of she's showing up, her energy is, I'm ready for a fresh start, a passionate new beginning. I do want to take a leap of faith. Where the divine masculine has shown up is the emperor. And I love this depiction of the emperor because this is Poseidon, if you look closely. And he's owning his awesomeness. He's taking the lead for his life, and he is showing up as the sum of all the kings. So he is showing up very strongly today. Where the relationship is jointly is the Ten of Wands. And Ten of Wands, to me, and in this particular perspective, is all about surrender. That there's something that suggests there's a need to surrender and a need just to let go and to surrender to what's coming in this relationship and what's going to manifest. I did ask for a couple of clarifiers, and I got two. I got the Tower and I got the Queen of Swords. So there's something that in the collective that may be happening very, very quickly. And it's about discernment and understanding what it is when it comes. And can you take that leap of faith and just allow the surrender to happen? So many of us, and self included, have a really hard time letting go. And so the universe is asking us to take that leap of faith with discernment, but also to recognize when this type of love comes in and makes itself available. What do we do? Do we block it? Do we embrace it? Or do we run? What do we do? And what's the opportunity that we have coming in front of us? So far, Ace of Wands for the divine feminine, passionate new start, the Emperor for the divine masculine, and a message for the two: you got to surrender to this journey. There may be some things coming fast out of nowhere, and when it happens, discern what it is and discern this relationship. Now, the way that the divine feminine is looking at the relationship with the divine masculine is through the lens of the star, which is a beautiful energy of healing, of hope, of inspiration. So she's looking at this with a lot of positivity, but also a lot of hope that the two together can come into union in a balanced, positive energy that's balanced between masculine and feminine, and that the two have actually done their work. The way that he is looking at the relationship is through the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups, as it is widely described, is the happy family card. And so he's looking at this relationship with a lot of love, a lot of love, a lot of opportunity. And it's something that he's looking on from his heart center. Message from Spirit today to the divine feminine. And this is the Knight of Swords. Knights are messengers and swords are all about truth. So what is the truth that she needs to honor in terms of this relationship? Is she in denial? Is she pushing the masculine away? Or is she not ready? What are the messages of truth that she needs to hear about this connection so that she can make sure that she is receptive if something comes out of the blue and the masculine returns? The message to the divine masculine from the universe is Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is a slower knight. It's still a knight, but it's the slowest one in tarot, which means this needs to unfold as it needs to unfold. And don't push, don't resist. Allow things to unfold as they should. And so I think the message to the divine masculine is it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Do your work, head down. To the divine feminine, honor and know your truth and be open to the truth, whatever that looks like for you. Now, what's interesting is what the divine feminine right now does not know about the masculine. So what she's not aware of with him is that he's in hermit mode. And so he is likely spending time alone, in solitude, in contemplation. And he's thinking about this relationship. He may be thinking, how do I reach out? How do I communicate? How do we come together? You may not even be on the same timeline right now. How do I move timelines? But the divine masculine is spending a lot of time inwardly to reflect and think about this journey with the divine feminine. What he doesn't know about the divine feminine, that's the Five of Wands. And I see this card, this is typically an energy, fives are about change, but I see this card as conflict, maybe competition or drama that is around us in the external environment. So what he doesn't know right now is that she may be experiencing issues around her, whether it be in relationships, at work, or family, that are either contentious or they've got a lot of complexity to them right now, and that she's got a lot going on in her external environment. I next looked at what is the status of this connection. If we were to look at, the next week or 2 weeks, what would it look like in terms of the probabilities of their joint energy? So the first card I drew was the Magician. So this is all about manifestation. So we've got the Fool as the underlying energy. We just drew the Magician as their collective energy and outcome. I drew the Queen of Swords, which is really about discernment. So as they look to manifest, what again do they need to discern in order to come together in the manner and in the way that they have either chosen or want to? I also pulled the Tower card again. So the Tower's come out twice and the Queen of Swords has come out twice. So something may be happening in the very near future out of nowhere, either a text, a communication, an email, a phone call. Something may be coming out of the blue, which allows the two to communicate. And I ask, well, what is this about? Could you give me another clarifier? And I drew the Six of Wands, and sixes are about accomplishment, victory, and this is about success. So those are the three cards, and the last card that had flown out is the Lovers. And this is Gemini energy, and we just started Gemini season, so this is all about choices. So it seems to me that the collective energy right now is really asking the divine feminine and divine masculine to take a leap of faith, but to make space for these relationships to be able to flourish and to grow. There's a lot of optimism between the energies separately, the Ace of Wands for the divine feminine, the Emperor for the divine masculine. And the way that they're looking at each other is through the lens of the star, hope, healing, love. The Ten of Cups from the divine masculine, a lot of love there, and the promise or thought of happy family. Again, a lot of very positive messages. And if you look at the collective outcome at this point in time, you have the Magician, which is all about manifestation with discernment. But again, there may be something coming. Second time we've gotten this coming out of the blue, and it's going to come in fast. And when it does, it's all about choice. Am I going to be able to discern what this is? And when it comes, the question is, what do you do about it? All right, so I'm going to ask one last message from Spirit with respect to this relationship. All right. And bear with me because when I shuffle, it could take forever because I like the cards to pop out. And usually they do. All right. Well, there's one. All right. Six of Wands. All right. Now we've got the Six of Wands twice. So that's a message. When I get the same card multiple times in a reading, I tend to pay attention to it. So we've gotten the Tower twice. We've gotten the Six of Wands twice. So something coming out of the blue, whatever it's coming, it's going to be victorious, or it's going to be very, very positive. And the Queen of Swords. So when it comes, can you discern what to do and how to respond and how to keep your heart open? Because part of the twin flame journey is really about doing the work yourself, because you cannot be a twin to someone else unless you've really looked inwardly and you have balanced your masculine and feminine energies and you've done the work. And for those of you who've been on the journey for some time, I know sometimes it's difficult to hear that because it seems like we're always doing the work, always doing the work. But again, if you've done the work and you're doing what you came to do, then the universe is going to bring that opportunity when that opportunity is right. The universe's messages, again, to the divine feminine was all around stand in your truth and understand the truth as it's coming in. But for the divine masculine, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. So don't resist it, but don't push too hard for an outcome. The universe has got to bring it to you. And again, with the Akashic Tarot cards, the Queen of Roses is about a very special relationship coming in. And again, that's another sign that union could be at hand. And as well, around our community, sometimes we have to let relationships go. And that could be a love relationship. It can be a best friend. It can be even a sibling. It could be whomever. But sometimes we have to let go of the old in order to make room for the new. And just because they haven't shown up yet doesn't mean they're not there. It means that divine timing is going to bring you together when it makes sense for the two of you. And again, for divine feminines, your card for the week, your angel number is 101. And again, it's about starting over, a leap of faith. Divine masculine, 1011, and it's all around taking action in a new beginning. So the messages are quite similar today, and I think it gives me a lot of hope that there will be a number of twins who will come into physical union over the coming 1 to 2 months. And it seems like consistently those are the messages. So I will leave you today with these messages. I hope that this has resonated for you. Please like, subscribe, share. And if you want more information about personal readings, you can check the description box below. We do daily readings. We also do a monthly call. We just did one last Friday. So they're the third Fridays of each month. And if you have not watched the one from last week, it was all around the Fool's Journey. And so we talked at length about taking the leap of faith and what that means. All right, it's a wrap. Thank you so much with great gratitude. Happy Tuesday. Bye, everyone.